Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of Moebius Empire Rising. As you might remember, we are now in Venice, Italy, and about to do a little research on a lovely lady who unfortunately passed away for some really creepy looking dude by the name of Ample Dexter. So, what we need to do first is we need to call Brunetta. So let's call him right now.
Pronto, Detective Brunetta.
Buongiorno. This is Malachi Rector. I need to speak with you about the death of Bianca Cardolo.
I was told to expect your call. Meet me at 425 alla Due Colonne. That's the site of the murder.
Thank you. I'll see you there.
Okay, I apparently picked up a Italian accent. Let's swing by, let's see if it'll let me take Barozzi's antiques.
Mr. Rector, it's a pleasure to see you.
Holy shit,
Welcome
Stan
back
Lee.
to Venice.
Thank you, Signor Barozzi.
Did you come about the figurine? Let me know when you're ready to see it.
Genuine Murano glass. They've been making necklaces like this in Venice for centuries. This one is well kept for its age. I never buy or sell anything like that. I can't think of a client I dislike enough to settle with that thing. Venetian fine china. It's affordable and ever so slightly rare. Good for Barozzi's middle-class clientele. It's not unique enough to get my interest.
Okay,
I'm not even interested in the sales records from my own shop. That's why I pay Gretchen. His desk isn't old, but it's certainly taken a beating. I wouldn't have it in my shop.
what an arrogant, aloof individual.
Signor Barozzi, might I have a word?
How can I help you, Mr. Rector?
How is the antique business in Venice these days?
How good can it be with this global recession? Italy is drowning in debt, and the protesters keep even the tourists away. In all honesty, I have never seen conditions so desperate.
Fortunately, there's always a market for luxury items. The rich get richer even in a downturn.
How can you say so? The EU is about to collapse. There are terrible days ahead for everyone.
I don't believe it's as bad as all that. The press love to fearmonger.
I am afraid it is that bad. Unless we can find some brilliant leadership to steer the world out of this mess, things look very black.
Well, I hope I am standing here in a year, and you can tell me you were wrong.
So do I.
Did you know Bianca Cardolo?
Why, yes. That is, I knew who she was. She even came into the shop one time. Her murder is incomprehensible.
I'm looking for information about her.
I didn't know her personally, but I'll tell you what I can. What do you want to know?
Was Bianca Cardolo wealthy?
Oh, yes. Both her birth family and her husband's family are extremely wealthy. There's no doubt about that.
I see.
It's none of my business, but why are you interested in Bianca Cardolo?
Her story caught my eye, that's all.
I can't blame you. It is a terrible thing. Oh, Mr. Rector, such a crime does nothing to help the city's morale. We could all use some good news, eh?
Tell me about Bianca Cardolo's family.
Ah, well, you know I love Italian history. Her father, Signor Antonio Savoy, is from two of the most noble Italian families, the Savoys and the Capetians. The Savoys, as you know, were the royal family in Italy up until World War II.
Interesting. Tell me about Bianca Cardolo's husband.
Dante Cardolo. You know, he is from the Capetian family, just like Bianca's father. But they are distant cousins. He was very popular in Venice. He could have gone far in politics. But his support of the EU at any cost has the common people very angry. Only time will tell if his political career survives. If indeed Italy survives.
Thank you for the information. If you learn anything new about Bianca Cardolo, please contact me.
Absolutely. I would be happy to.
I'd like to see the figurine you mentioned in your letter.
See. Here it is. Take all the time you need. I hope you'll find it to your liking. I know your taste is excellent.
We'll see. That's all for now. Thank you.
As you wish.
Yes. Did I get it?
The figurine is an excellent find, Senor Baruzzi. It's a 12th century Lewis Chessman piece. The British Museum and the Museum of Scotland each have part of the collection, so we might be able to get them to bid against each other. Marvelous. Can I assume our usual split?
Of course. Oh, that is good news. Should I have it sent to your store in Manhattan?
Please do. Oh, and insure the hell out of it.
Of course. Thank you. I'm not ashamed to say I will be glad for the money.
Score.
I don't have a use for a collapsible boat pole at the moment, but if I need one, I know where to find it.
Well, there you go. And there he is. hope I'm getting this right.
Are you Detective Brunetta?
That is correct, Mr. Rector.
Yes.
I've been told to answer any questions you have about the death of Bianca Cardolo. I can't say I understand why.
Well, I'm glad to know where you stand, Detective. Let's get started, if you don't mind. It's always good to know your source. You won't mind telling me something about yourself?
That depends on what you want to know.
You've been a detective for a long time. 20 years at least.
That's right. Someone told you about me?
Your experience is obvious.
I will take that as a compliment.
This is a high-profile case, isn't it? You've been working on it around the clock.
That's right. Never lets you go, a case like this. And what is your stake in it, Rector?
I'm not trying to find her killer. I just need information.
And you're a luckier man than I. But if you mean you'll stay out of my way, then I'm glad for it.
Do you know the Cardolo family personally?
I'm not a part of that high society, even if I have the time to have a social life, which I don't.
You said you were told to answer my questions. Can I ask by whom?
You don't know?
I'm not in the habit of asking questions I know the answer to.
I was told it came from a mayor's office. You were hired by Senor Cardolo, perhaps?
No, it wasn't Cardolo.
Interesting. Well, at least I know that much.
Tell me about Bianca Cardolo.
She was a popular figure in Venice. Everyone knew her. She was even named the most beautiful woman in the city several years ago. The public wants her killer found, and so do I.
Tell me about Bianca Cardolo's murder.
We know she was followed while walking home from a concert. She ran. The killers caught up with her here where we're standing. They hanged her from this bridge.
Sounds familiar. In fact, I read that much in the papers.
I can't read your mind, Mr. Rector. If you have questions, ask them.
She was walking home from a concert alone?
Yes, her husband is a very busy man. As I understand, she often attended artistic events without him.
Were there any witnesses?
No one came forward, even after Senor Cardolo put out a personal request.
Do you have any leads on the killers?
No. If you want my opinion, such as it is, they were professionals. They left no physical evidence on the bridge or on the body. Even the rope was generic.
Was she robbed? Molested?
No, her purse fell into the canal. We retrieved it. Her money and credit cards were all there. Her jewelry was untouched. There were no signs of rape.
Tell me about the Cardolo family.
Dante Cardolo, her husband, is extremely wealthy and a very important man in local politics. Well-respected man, for good reason. Her father, Venetian royalty. It would be difficult to find a more distinguished bloodline anywhere in Italy. This crime has all of Venice in shock, and we have no leads. We haven't found anyone who would want to hurt her.
And yet, someone did.
Yes. If you want my opinion, her family had nothing to do with it. But that begs the question, eh? Who did?
Those are all the questions I have, Detective.
Maybe someday I'll know what this was all about, eh?
I doubt it. Even I don't know what it's all about. But I wish you luck in finding Bianca's killer.
I'll need more than wishes. Arrivederci, Mr. Hector.
Arrivederci.
sounds like her. It sounds like Livia Drusilla. Damn it. Oops. Back time. Time to check out her house.
Come in, Mr. Rector. Please, sit down.
Thank you, Senor Cordero. I'm sorry to intrude at a time like this.
I've been asked to speak with you, and that request came directly from the U.S. Embassy.
Impressive.
What interest does the United States have in my wife's murder? Do you think it was a terrorist act? Why would they want to hurt Bianca?
I don't have the answers, Signore. I'm still investigating.
Very well. I've already been over everything with the police a dozen times, but I'll do what I can to help you.
It would help me to know more about you.
Very well.
Was Bianca your first wife?
See, I worked hard all my life, and I'm not ashamed to say I enjoyed my youth. But a man who wishes to accomplish certain things in life needs a wife. Bianca was everything I needed. She had beauty, style, connections. I doubt I will ever find her equal.
Tell me about your work.
I am Consigliere of Venice. I used to practice law, but for now my focus is exclusively on politics. Venice is struggling, as is all of Italy. It will take the best of all of us to save her, if we can.
Tell me about Bianca.
What would you like to know?
Did your wife play piano?
No, she was quite musical, but she preferred dance. She was in a classical dance company before we were wed. As for the piano, Bianca loved to entertain, and music was always a part of such evenings.
How did you meet Bianca?
Bianca's family is one of the most influential in all of Italy. I have known her father for many years. I watched Bianca mature. She was the perfect politician's wife. She loved meeting people and doing philanthropic work. I knew she would make the perfect wife for a man of my ambitions. Fortunately, her father agreed, and I was able to convince her to marry me, even though she was quite young at the time.
How old was Bianca when you married her?
She was 18 and I was 43, but she was very mature for her age. She knew the life she wanted, and I could give it to her. She was happy in our marriage, especially once our son came along.
Bianca quit dancing after you were married?
Of course, it was hardly appropriate for the wife of a man in my position.
How old was Bianca when she had your son?
It was a year after our marriage. She was 19. Does that have some relevance?
We'll see. I realize it is difficult to speak ill of the dead, but Bianca must have had some flaws. No one is perfect.
It is a good thing that I, myself, am a man who often has to say things no one wants to hear, because otherwise I would throw you out of the house for that impudence.
As you say, getting to the truth is not always pleasant.
She was a beautiful young woman. She had some insecurities. Never thought she was good enough, perfect enough. Perhaps I should be grateful for that. If she had been more confident, she might never have married me.
I appreciate your honesty, Signore. I must ask you about Bianca's murder.
If you must.
Tell me about the night it happened.
Bianca wished to attend a concert. She had a number of musician friends from her student days. I declined to go with her. It was nothing important, and I preferred to get some work done. Now I wish I'd never allowed her to go out alone.
You couldn't possibly have known. It's not your fault. Do you know who killed Bianca?
No, she was a beautiful and gracious young woman. She had no enemies, nor do I.
I've heard that you have unpopular views. Perhaps someone took offense to them.
Do you think someone would be cruel enough to hang my beautiful young wife because they did not like my politics?
I think people are not very wise and often violent.
I cannot control what madmen think or do. I'm afraid I must get back to work. In times of fiscal crisis, one is not even allowed the solace of grief. You may stay and look around. I have told the staff that you are free to come and go. You'll find Bianca's bedroom through that door there. And before you ask, the house has plenty of rooms. Bianca liked having her own sanctuary. We were happily married.
I would be the last person to judge such an arrangement. Thank you for your time, Signor Cardolo.
Goodbye.
I don't play.
I was hoping for the picture.
I've no use for those cards. Sympathy cards for Bianca. That brings home the tragic aspect of all this, doesn't it? White roses. Traditional for funerals and weddings. Appropriate since both are equally tragic. I've no use for... Florist putty can be a useful substance, but I don't have any need for it at the moment. White roses. It doesn't do anything, thank God. A wedding photo of Bianca and Dante Cardolo. She has a striking figure. What I can see of it around that large bouquet.
Let's check out her ring. Good lord, dude, you're gonna pass out before you go anywhere. It's like, I don't know, I have pills, but that's a lot.
Dance images and more family photos. Boring.
Thanks, douchebag.
Her robe and slippers are still laid out, waiting for Bianca to come home. I wonder how long it will be before someone dares put them away. Postage stamps? Do people actually mail things anymore? The notebook looks brand new. They look like drawers, but they're decorative. They don't actually open. Bianca's planner. It's open to the day she was murdered. She'd written in a concert for that evening, but there's nothing else relevant. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. Blank envelopes. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. Bianca kept some pens in here. No surprise, it is a writing desk. That doesn't fit. I need the key. It would be broad and flat. Perfectly ordinary clear tape. A small desk clock.
I'm looking for a key.
I can't relax in here. Too many reminders of Bianca. What a tragic ending.
Key card.
Really not my cup of tea. These overly large gloves are interesting, but I don't need to take them with me. These overly large glasses. That must be Bianca's son. He's young to lose a mother. Nearly everything in this room matches. I prefer a more eclectic approach myself. Senor Cardolo said this was Bianca's room, which means I presume that this was not the matrimonial bed. There's a light breeze tonight. Perhaps it's an incoming storm. Dance images and more family photos. Boring. This bed set is a 19th century reproduction. Expensive, but not valuable, or even in good taste. The stool goes with the bed set. It looks rather useless.
Check back up on Bianca. I have no idea. Where else could I go?
Pardon, Signora. May I have a word with you?
Yes? What can I do for you? Yes, signore. What can I do for you?
Is this your home, Signora? It's lovely.
Ah, grazie. It's been in my family for 4 generations.
I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Malachi Rector.
Buonasera, signore. I am Caterina Falone.
I noticed that you seem nervous, Signora.
You would be nervous too if unspeakable things happened just outside your front door. I do not wish to talk about it.
I would like to speak with you about the murder, Signora.
No, I'm sorry. I won't speak about that. I already said as much to the police.
But I am not the police. You can talk to me.
I don't know you, signore. And it is too terrible to talk about. No.
Thank you for speaking with me, Signora.
It was a pleasure to speak with such a fine gentleman. Arrivederci.
I believe that's a younger photo of Signora Filone, the woman who lives near the site of Bianca's murder. She's wearing a Venetian Murano glass necklace. I don't recall seeing it on her when we met.
Ah, Mr. Rector. I'm glad you stopped by. Someone was here looking for you.
Oh? Who was that?
It was an Asian woman, middle-aged. She didn't give her name. She came in to inquire about you after your last visit. To be honest, I didn't like her manner, and I told her I didn't know you. I hope I wasn't wrong.
No, she doesn't sound like anyone I know, and I don't care for people knowing my business. Let me know if she bothers you again.
Of course.
I think this one is worth a purchase. I'd like to buy this necklace.
Certainly. Let me get that for you. Shall I put it on your account?
Please.
There you are. You have a good eye, as always, Mr. Rector.
I don't have anything new to say to...
We know where we're going. Murder Bridge! See if we can get the Senora out of her house again.
Signora Filone, I was so struck by your elegance during our earlier conversation. I saw this in a shop today, and for some reason had the idea that it must be worn by you and no other.
Oh, signore. How would you have known, eh? I had a similar necklace that I wore for many years, but recently, well, I was forced to part with it. I shouldn't accept it, but it has been years since I've received tokens from such a handsome young man, eh? How can I refuse? Mille grazie, signore, thank you.
It's my pleasure. I'm sorry to trouble you with a distressing subject, Signora, but may I ask you about the night of the murder?
I really don't want to talk about that. I'm frightened.
Of course you are. Who wouldn't be? But I'm not the police, and this information is not for the courts. It will stay between you and me.
Well,
A musician like yourself, your ears are very keen.
yes, I heard a scream, as if her mouth was covered by a hand.
You looked out the window. What did you see?
There were two men, all in black, slender, small.
Did you see their faces?
No, their heads, their faces. They were covered in black, as if they were in a play. I swear. Oh, perhaps I've been foolish. I should have stayed quiet. I must go. Thank you for the necklace.
Signora,
I was hoping that that dude would be here.
Hello again, Mr. Rector.
Signore Barrosi. I don't think Brunetta has any more information for me.
Oh, awesome. Ah. Water.
There's something on the bottom of the canal. Could it have fallen from Bianca's purse? That wouldn't do much.
It's time to get that boat collapsible thingamadoodle.
Hello again,
Signore Barroso. I'd like to take this boat pole. Can you put it on my account?
Of course.
That's highly impressive, getting that boat pole in your pocket.
The hook won't stick to the bare pole. I need to try something else.
Oh, dang it. It's the putty from the flowers in the Cordolo house.
I don't think Signor Condello will miss this.
No. Alright. Now back to the murder bridge. Alright. Here we go.
I have a feeling this brass hook dropped from Bianca's purse. I'll take it with me.
Wait, wasn't there something else down there?
I don't see anything else of interest down there.
There's gotta be the key to her desk, I think. Yeah, buddy.
Ah, and there we have it. Prescription cream for plaque psoriasis. Has Bianca's name on it. Let's see who Bianca was talking to. I need to find out who Gabriella is. I'll put this in my phone's contacts. Am I speaking with Gabriella?
See? This is Gabriella Spira. Who is this?
I'm calling about Bianca Cardolo. I found your number on her phone.
I thought someone might be calling me. Are you with the police?
I'm an independent investigator. May we meet?
I work near the Doji Palace. There's a cafe on the north side of the plaza. Can you meet me there?
Yes. I'll see you soon.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this is a perfect spot to stop for this evening. But have no fear, we will be back tomorrow to continue our investigation into this heinous murder. And we'll also go to the Doge Plaza to meet with Gabriella to see where the story will take